Bo Derek is a big deal in romantic comedy movies. She got super famous after being in the movie 10 Inches in 1979, directed by Blake Edwards. People all over fell in love with her because she was so beautiful.
There is no perfect tan. We all have different tastes.
You look amazing. I can't believe you're 60 years old.
I know, 60.
It's unbelievable.
In my mind, I'm already heading towards 70.
Her hairstyle in the movie, with the braids, became really popular. But her personal life has had some drama too, especially her marriage to John Derek, who was a lot older than her. Bo grew up in California with her family. Her dad worked with boats, and her mom did makeup for movies. When Bo was a teenager, her parents split up. That's when she met John Derek, who was way older than her, and they stayed together for a long time. Some people didn't like their relationship, saying John was too controlling. Bo's life story sounds like it could be a movie itself. She's had friendships with John Derek's ex-wives and even lived in a mobile home for a while. Bo's always been adventurous, following her instincts without worrying about what might happen. She was in some movies directed by John Derek, but they didn't always do well. After he passed away, she started dating another actor, John Corbett. But her past with John Derek still causes some problems in her life. Bo's life has been full of ups and downs, but she's still a big name in Hollywood. In the dance of fate, Bo and John Derek's paths intertwined amidst the sun-kissed shores of Mykonos, a Greek island steeped in myth and romance. Bo, a blossoming 16-year-old with locks of gold, caught the eye of the seasoned director John Derek, who was in search of talent for his cinematic endeavor. Their story unfolded against the backdrop of Hollywood glamour and youthful dreams. Bo, then known as Mary Kathleen Collins, found herself thrust into the spotlight when John, a man of cinematic prowess, took her under his wing. Despite initial reservations about her blonde tresses, John saw beyond appearances, casting her as the leading lady in Once Upon a Love. Their love story, however, was far from conventional. John, tethered to Linda Evans, found himself inexplicably drawn to the vivacious Bo. Like a moth to flame, he couldn't resist her allure, eventually forsaking his marriage to embark on a new chapter with his young muse. As Bo's star ascended with the success of 10, John basked in the glow of her achievements, eager to mold her into a symbol of beauty and grace. Yet behind the veneer of adoration lay a complex dynamic of control and ambition. John's Svengali-like influence loomed large, shaping Bo's career and public image with meticulous precision. Their partnership, though fruitful, was not without its challenges. Amidst the whispers of scandal and societal judgment, Bo grappled with the weight of her choices and the repercussions of love found in unexpected places. Through it all, she emerged as a beacon of resilience, navigating the tumultuous waters of fame and passion with grace and poise. Now, in the twilight of her years, Bo reflects on the whirlwind romance that defined her youth. Memories, both bitter and sweet, intertwine as she confronts the legacy of a love that defied conventions and tested the boundaries of the heart. And though the sands of time may have shifted, the imprint of their love story remains etched in the annals of Hollywood history, a testament to the enduring power of love in all its complexity and contradiction. She was sure she could overcome any obstacle in her path because of the strong bond she had with him. That was the innocence of Bo. It was as if destiny had created a vivid picture of their future together, with Europe serving as its background. It wasn't just Europe that captivated them, however. Bo is now enjoying life on her ranch in California with her 4-year younger boyfriend, actor John Corbett. The generosity of Bo's romantic rival Linda stands out to her when she thinks back on her first love. Bo has spoken about her shame about losing John and Linda's marriage. Bo recounted the event and said that when she thinks about her conduct, she hates herself. In her opinion, it's the worst possible thing to do. It was a dramatic and intricate situation. Some may say it was destiny that she remained at John Derek's side till he died. But this seems to be an explanation to her. She maintains her belief that it was morally incorrect. The incident left the little girl with conflicting emotions toward Linda. She went on to say that she adored and worshipped the more seasoned actress. Bo has always been welcomed with open arms by Linda. The presence of Linda made Bo feel terrible. and this emotion persisted even after all these years. Bo thinks Linda is very attractive and regards her in the highest esteem. For some reason, Bo just can't seem to get over her actions with Linda. Bo assures Linda that she would never make the same mistake and expresses her deepest regrets. Unexpectedly, despite Linda's agreement to be interviewed for her documentary, Boderick, In My Own Words, she remains remarkably composed when confronted with the lady responsible for her husband's expulsion. Bo says that the most shocking thing that happened was Linda consenting to be in the documentary. She was shocked and shocked to hear it. She says that reminiscing about her time as John's lover brought out a lot of painful emotions when working with Linda. It was a period of great pain for everyone involved, she said. Bo feels a lot of remorse when she thinks about that time in her life. But strangely, Linda has been so kind to Bo that he doesn't know why. But Linda insists that, despite the terrible affair, she and Bo Derek are still friends. She expresses her gratitude to Bo. According to Linda, if she had remained married to John Derek, she would not have been able to play her famous part in Dynasty. It was because of this affair that Linda was able to obtain the job. Her terror at her marriage's implosion inspired her to take any position that came her way, and that's how she ended up playing Crystal Carrington on Dynasty. Linda acknowledges that the scenario that Bo Derek caused was terrible for her, despite her gratitude. She considered ending her life rather than enduring this ordeal. Her passion for John Derek was unwavering since he was the epitome of perfection. Even as a teenager, she made it clear to her sister that she was planning to marry John Derek, and she really did. She considered the connection a divine blessing that was meant to last, but alas, it faded. It was the end of her dream. She ranks it among the most difficult things that have ever happened to her. The worst things that might happen to you can also turn out to be the finest things. John Derek was against Linda working, so she would have lost out on the stunning Dynasty. Despite her agent's doubts about her returning to the industry, Linda landed a breakthrough part. In the end, Linda Evans does not hold any animosity toward Bo, even if Bo may have inadvertently put her through some harsh things. Linda claims to be friends with Bo and has complimented her on her beauty. Despite the fact that Bo and Linda Evans have worked out their differences amicably, Bo still feels an overwhelming sense of guilt over her time in Hollywood. Bo lived a carefree seaside existence as a child in Southern California. Because her father worked for the sailing company Hobie Cat, the actor had a lot of time off to surf and relax in the sun. At the same time, her mother's job required her to travel regularly as a renowned celebrity hairdresser and makeup artist. Bo dropped out of school completely to follow his dreams of becoming a movie star. Even though she was too young, it had a profound impact on her life, as she remembers. That turbulent time as a young lady is something she thinks about often. Being with John Derek was like being handed a magical credit card. She wasn't prepared for it. Even though she was married, many Hollywood men were enticed by her alluring looks and sought her. Bo was partially protected, she said, since she was in a committed relationship with a guy who had a reputation of his own and whom many people feared. During interviews, she saw producers trying to kiss her, which she took as an invasion of her privacy. But her mother had taught her a cunning defensive strategy from an early age, and she now kicks them in the crotch area. She feels lucky that her earlier spouse was never violent or abusive. The picture that most people associate with Bo is the one of the slim, blonde lady in the bikini who runs along the beach in 10. Looking at her now compared to her most famous appearance shows that time has been kind to her, as she exudes the same timeless elegance and beauty. However, she would never risk allegations of cultural appropriation by attempting to recreate the legendary moment, no matter how beautiful she is, especially at the age of 70. Bo admits that she isn't really keen on wearing the trend right now. It was common for African American women at the time to thank her for rocking this haircut, she adds. These ladies were unable to wear braids themselves because of job limitations enforced by prejudiced managers. The times have changed, according to Bo, thus she would never wear cornrows now. She does acknowledge that her life was fulfilled when married to John Derek, but she claims that her present marriage is more stable. Because her life was always in a state of disarray, she had no children in the past. Sharing her life with John Corbett, has given her a deeper sense of control over it. When they do things together, the two of them enjoy it. She was encouraged to talk honestly and freely for her documentary by John Corbett. She says that John is the one who always makes her laugh since he is so funny. They count themselves fortunate to have this property as a sanctuary from the chaos of their professional life. Having a life immersed in nature and animals has been Beau's lifelong goal since she was a little girl. To be able to do that at this moment makes her feel lucky. Beau believes her buddy who stated that she is living out her adolescent romance now, since she didn't have the chance to do so when she was really adolescent. She finds solace in the fact that she has kept her dignity despite all the unusual decisions, poor choices, and insane movies she has seen. Beau said in passing that she often skipped school as a kid so she could get rides to the beach. She said that she is now quite terrified of acting in such a way and would never contemplate doing it. In addition, related a story of her encounter with some unscrupulous individuals while hitchhiking alone. After she begged them to let her go, they did just that. When she and her friends skipped school for a month to go to the beach, she felt foolish for hitchhiking and scoffed at the idea that it was safer in the past. The young defiant said she did it to get away from the system, but she was so bored that she went back to school and eventually concentrated on acting. Not long after that, her agency called to inform her that she had an interview scheduled for a film shoot in Greece. With an intriguing backstory, this film, later titled Fantasies, had an intriguing making. Once Upon a Love was the working title of Beau Derrick's 1973 film before he changed it to Fantasies. Due to financial constraints, a German film lab confiscated the funds from Once Upon a Love while production was winding down in Munich. For a long time, it was locked up in a safe until producer Kevin Castleman acquired it. Castleman attempted to distribute the film globally, so Derrick and Beau took legal action to halt its distribution. They decided that the litigation was not worth their time and effort, so they ceased pursuing it after a while. After much delay, the film finally debuted in 1981 under the title Fantasies. Critics were unimpressed, praising the film for being both serious and badly produced. A young Greek island girl, played by Beau Derrick, is torn between becoming a girl and a woman in this film. The young man living with her, played by Peter Hooton, is just as bewildered as she is. Despite their lack of blood ties, they were raised as one. Beau Derrick appears in many scenes throughout the film. Beau Derrick is not a fan of the film. She says that fantasies are bad, disorganized, and illogical. Kevin Castleman, who was her agent before becoming a producer, describes the picture as the movie that would not die. Castleman was instrumental in negotiating the deal and casting Beau and Peter Hooton. Beau seems unconcerned with the movie's explicit content. In one scenario, Beau takes a bath. In another, he emerges from the ocean at night. The film's reputation as a sexual flick is something Beau finds offensive. She said that she was only 16 years old while shooting. The initial idea of the picture was ruined by other influences, driving it to its present condition. She would have preferred to have seen her husband complete the film. At least, to some extent, Beau enjoys it. The film was a turning point in her life since it was via this film that she met John. Unfortunately, her subsequent film was just as unsuccessful. Even in her follow-up picture, Orca, she hardly had a cameo before a killer whale devoured her leg in 1979. Beau broke through in the film industry with her breakout performance alongside Dudley Moore in the romantic comedy 10. The role solidified Beau's legendary image and propelled her to pin-up stardom in an instant. Much more satisfying was the subsequent picture. Beau leaped across a beach in enticing slow motion, all synced to the throbbing beats of Ravel's Bolero. Star Mo became enamored with her after her breathtaking performance. Suddenly, she became a pin-up icon. Then, her husband directed 2 action flicks, Tarzan, the Ape Man, and Bolero. Both moviegoers and bookworms were critical of Tarzan the Ape Man, with some praising the plot, but others praising the performances and the R rating. It has been known as one of the most pitiful works of film in some quarters. Despite the negative reviews, the film was a financial success, making $36.5 million, or more than double its budget, from an original projection of $6.5 million. The film's critics felt that it focused too much on Bo's character, Jane Parker, and not enough on Tarzan. In addition, there were two scenes, one with Bo taking a bath and the other with a body painting sequence, that focused on his physical features. Second, Derek showed up shirtless. Bo starred in Bolero, an erotic comedy drama film directed by John Derek. The story of Bolero centers on a young woman's sexual awakening and her search for the perfect partner around the globe. The film was rated X, which is usually reserved for very violent or sexually explicit horror films due to its graphic sexual material and extensive nudity. Many critics panned Bo's Bolero performance because to her performance in this role, Bo received her second Golden Raspberry Award for Worst Actress. In addition to the 5 other awards it received from the same organization, the film also took home a slew of other dubious prizes. Among them was the worst film ever made, which had everything to do with the production values and direction. Among John Derek's unsavory accolades were those for Worst Script and Worst Director, respectively. The worst new star was Olivia Culpo. The last slap in the face that Bolero received was from its musical score creators Elmer and Peter Bernstein. The award of writing the worst musical composition was bestowed upon them. Her last appearance in front of the camera was for a film 6 years ago. With yet another joint venture with her husband, she returned to the world of filmmaking. But this effort, dubbed Ghosts Can't Do It, was a bust. Bo Derek is involved in several social and political issues outside of movies, and he is also a passionate equestrian. In her own time, she enthusiastically advocates for handicapped veterans and acts as a spokesperson for the Animal Welfare Institute's fight to end the practice of horse slaughter. Her gracefulness and attractiveness have not faded even as she approaches the age of 70. Have a great time viewing. We'll catch you in the next one.